this video, we will discuss how to represent factors and multiples using the MathBox learning aids. So let's start with representing multiples of number 8. So I'm going to use color counters and the squared grid mat. Now I'm going to place the squared grid mat on the table. To find multiples of 8, I will first take 8 counters and arrange them on the grid like this. Now if I want to look at multiples, I'm going to represent these 8 counters as one unit. What do you think this is in terms of multiples? If you're looking at multiples of 8, this would obviously be the first multiple. And this could be your starting point to point this idea to your student. Now if we add another set or unit of 8 counters below the first one on this mat, this gives us, of course, 8 plus 8, 16 counters. So naturally, 16 is the second multiple of 8. Help your student connect this to the first multiple of 8. And as your student starts adding more such sets, one below the other, you can help him see how the total number of counters keeps getting added by 8. And the number of multiples also increases by 1. For example, with 3 such sets, we get 24, making 24 the third multiple of 8. Ask your student to find now if, let's say, 40 is a multiple of 8, right? Allow him to figure out the correct answer by forming units of 8. After forming the fifth unit, he will know for sure that 40 is a multiple of 8. Similarly, you can ask him if 52 is a multiple of 8 and see if he can figure that out. At this point, some of your students will be able to relate to this activity by forming a multiplication table of 8. And the ones who aren't familiar with the tables or aren't very comfortable with them should be able to spot the pattern of repeated addition of this number. So they can either say that all the numbers that come in the table of 8 are its multiples, or the number of 8 when repeatedly added forms its multiples. Now we could also use fraction rods to represent the same idea. Now the brown rod represents the length 8 centimeters, which can be used to represent the unit 8. One such rod gives us 8, 2 rods gives 16, 3 such rods gives us 24, and so on. So this can easily be seen as multiplication or repeated addition of 8, which results in, of course, 8, 16, 24, and so on. Now ask your student if he can figure out what is the 12th multiple of 8. Does he really need to add 8 12 times or take maybe 12 rods of 8? Or can he use a quicker method to find it? Note that this activity can be performed using any rod as long as we assign the correct value to it. Now think about this. To represent the first 3 multiples of 5, what unit size would you take? And how many such units will be required in total?